Oh.
Welcome back to Digi
What's
Bros.
up? We're
fighting a cool guy. He's got a girlfriend.
Okay.
I've got a girlfriend. I saw her vagina.
Look at this girl. Holy shit, he's already level 16.
Hell yeah, dude.
He's been going
All
ham.
those Geodudes, man.
Going harder than
Hyperfang,
motherfucking
fuck
pain.
you, dude.
Dude, that
condescending
graphic was
fucking
awesome.
jackass. Fucking Rattata.
If he uses it again, you're fucked.
Should use sleep powder?
Yeah, probably.
Look at his grip!
That's gonna get old. Oh man. Oh yeah, welcome back. This is another episode. I forgot that we just started an episode. Man, I was getting deep into some Pokemon fucking meta.
Keep thinking about this stupid shit that happened tonight. Something where me and Hope were watching Chopped, because we were playing the Chopped drinking game. Just pretty good. And then, like, it was an episode
How
where
does
the
Chopped
theme...
drinking game go?
It's like, you know, anytime someone makes...
Explain what
like
Chopped is.
Chopped is this...
Because I've never seen it, so I have no idea. But it's like a
this
huge meme with you at home.
kind of awful cooking show where it's like every week they get 4 contestants on. It's new every time, and then like they give them these baskets that have random ingredients in them, and it's always stupid shit. Like it's weird, obscure ingredients that no one would know how to use, and then they give them to these chefs, and they give them 30 minutes to make a dish out of it, and then they judge them and, you know, eliminate people. So it's fucking ridiculous. The show is absolutely absurd.
So wait, when you say they eliminate people, do they go through like multiple dishes per episode? Or
No, it's like
rounds?
one episode, you know, 4 people go on, and then one wins each episode, and they get $10,000.
Okay.
So it's like, it's this fucking mess, and they will do stupid shit, and there's just tons of shit, like, anytime someone says, I looked down at my dish, and I was feeling good, that's a drink, and like, stupid shit like that.
Is it that often?
Yes, oh my god! Well, me and Hope made addendums to some of the rules to make it so that it would be more often, like, every episode someone says, I looked down at my dish and something, so we just made it that instead of, and I was feeling good, because sometimes they're like, I looked down at my dish, and I realized it was a mess. And it's like, there's just so much shit like that just happens every episode someone burns something, someone gets cut by a knife, you know. These fucking idiots. Oh my god. This show is such a mess.
You described it to
blast.
us as whenever you're at Hope's house, it is always
It's always on! Which
And it
we were
doesn't
just
matter-
watching it on Netflix this time.
You described it like it didn't matter what channel you were on.
No, it's
or
always
what
like the
time
Food
of
Network,
day.
I think. But yeah, it's always on. It's always reruns of Chopped. And she would watch it with her friends, like, you know, before she started watching it with me, and so now I've spread it on to watching it with Boyd and Brandon Tolentino. And so now it's like this huge meme. But anyways, we're watching Chopped, and they're doing this episode about, like, the theme was people, they're using, like, garbage food that people would normally throw away, so it's like the rest of a fish carcass, or like the stems of a plant or something, like they have to make dishes out of that. And I started doing this character who's like a Danny DeVito garbage forager. And I'm just like, I remember I'm just like, I go into the garbage, and there's no such thing as garbage, and I something about like,
You're not selling this.
never throw away a condom. There's a million uses for a condom. I go into the garbage and I find a condom. You take the condom and you pour the cum out of the condom and then you use it again. You keep using it until it breaks. A broken condom's not a dead condom. You take a broken condom.
What do you do with the broken condom?
Look, you take a broken condom. You know how your bike handles get worn down. And you gotta cover your bike handles. So you take the broken condom and you put it on the bike handles. Now you got new bike handles made out of condoms.
Oh my god, I want you to make a life hack channel with Danny DeVito character giving terrible life hack advice.
It's all condoms.
Oh my god.
Look, it's worn out. It's got a hole in it, but it's elastic. You use it like a rubber band.
Oh my god.
I'm glad you found that equally. It's because Hope was dying. She was like, I had to stop because she looked like she was gonna have a heart attack laughing. And this whole time,
so sure of yourself.
This whole time I keep thinking about it and like making myself laugh.
Oh my god.
You use a condom so many times it's worn out, it's stretchy. You put it on your feet, you use it as a sock. Now you got condom socks. The cum, it moisturizes the feet.
Water. The water-resistant sacks.
Look, you tie it off, it's a water bottle now. And guess what? The water tastes like cum.
Oh, why is he tasting it?
Because he's drinking the water out of condom.
Oh, a water bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He's using the condom as a water bottle.
No. I was thinking water balloon because I've seen that before.
Yeah, but now he's drinking out of it.
No.
It's a million.
No.
Okay, that was my story.
Oh, God.
Oh, man.
You might as well continue on this train of thought. What else did you do today?
I went to Wedding Con.
Is that what it was called?
Bride Con. No, I don't remember what it was called. I didn't really pay attention because I don't give a shit. So, like, I have no idea what it was called.
Why were you there?
I was there because, you know, I shoot a lot of weddings, and my boss for that was like, he wanted me to come help, like, break down their booth and get some shots of the place, like, while it was going on. So I showed up for, like, the last hour of Wedding Con, which is, like, pretty legit. It's like a whole dealer's room, like, at Otakon, but it's all wedding shit. Like, it's all wedding, it's wedding vendors who are, like, you know, brides and stuff go there, and they talk to all the vendors and get their business cards and shit.
That is
it's
very bizarre.
It's a business thing, but then there's also, like, a fashion show going on of the dresses and shit, and it's clear that most people there are just there to, like, you know, peruse, get free samples of cakes and shit, and, like, look at the fashion show. Like, most people there aren't probably getting married. But, you know, it's a huge event for all the wedding vendors who need to get their name out there. So my boss had his own booths and stuff. I got some bitchin' free samples, because it'll be like the caterers are there, you know, the cake makers are there, so you get bitchin' cupcakes and stuff. I got a bunch of shots.
Basically, people trying to sell themselves to you. It's like a try before you buy for your wedding.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Just nice. And I go there and it's like, oh, that's the wedding I shot playing on my boss's, you know, display here. He had like a 4K monitor out and shit.
Man, I had no idea that was a thing.
It's a free event you can go to and get a bunch of free samples. Like, there were definitely a bunch of old people there who were just like faking that they had kids and stuff. It was at the Virginia Beach Convention Center.
Wow.
Which it was just one big room full of stuff, but then it was like a fashion show going on.
So like,
and
what
shit.
would be the dealer's room at NecoCon? Like that?
Yeah,
room?
but like full. Like,
okay.
Well, that's at the Hampton Convention Center. Virginia Beach one's in Virginia Beach.
Oh yeah, you're right. The Virginia Beach.
Anyway, nobody has a frame of reference for this.
We went to the Virginia Beach Convention Center for my graduation.
Did we?
Yeah, that's where it was. I've been there once, only once, and I believe it was for my graduation.
It's pretty nice. Like, I went there for prom. I've done some weddings there that are nice. But yeah, it's a nice place. But anyways, Wedding Con was going on, and then most of my day was fucking breaking down after Wedding Con.
Breaking down?
Yeah, because that was helping, like, like, my fucking boss.
When you say I was breaking down.
No, we were breaking down the booth.
Connotation.
But he had, like, the 4K monitor set up on, like, the shit he rented, which was, like, a couch and, like, a giant, like a TV stand that was, like, had a fireplace in it kind of thing. It was, like, this ridiculous thing, and I guess he rented it and had them transport it directly to the Wedding Con. And so he's trying to put all this shit in the back of his flatbed truck that has like, the truck bed covers, and it doesn't come off. So you can't fit any of the shit in his truck. So we had to make multiple trips to go get shit from Wedding Con and bring it back to his house. And he wanted to drop some stuff off at his parents' house and some stuff off at his house. So it was just this fucking long mess of, like, transporting all this shit. And that's how I spent, like, 3 hours. I thought I was gonna spend 1 hour doing that, and I spent like 4 hours doing that. But I'll get paid, so that's fine.
Yeah. You
And then
finally made money today, which is why you're in high spirits.
I got my check that I worked for at the beginning of February, and now I'm getting it at the end of February. So
for what, like $500?
yeah, it's $500.
Victor's been in an existential downward spiral for weeks
because
now.
I haven't had any
because
money.
nobody's been
and
paying
I've been
him.
bored.
And Victor, there was a moment about a week and a half ago where you literally spent your last $10.
Yes.
And you had $2 in your bank.
Which I spent one of those dollars on a spray paint can.
And the other one on
So
a
I had
drink, because we had
$1.
gone out to Wawa to get a drink. So you already had a dollar.
I used the card for that.
Oh,
But,
okay.
Yeah. I cheated sometimes.
Yeah, but you had no money, which is why Victor's been so, like, out of it and depressed on the show and like
yes, I've been garbage.
Yes,
and now I've got money, so it really lifts your spirit when you have money. Where you're just like, I got lunch and dinner today. It didn't feel bad. I bought some alcohol.
Incidentally, the reason that I was willing to buy you lunch those times when because Victor was so broke that I was like, I'll just buy you hot dogs and shit because I have money right now, like a decent amount of money, so I've been like, yeah, I can just buy people stuff, you know? I love stuff!
Having money is fucking awesome. Not having money is depressing as hell, especially when you've had money, like, consistently.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, I'm feeling good.
It's 2015-16, and you're feeling great.
Something I wanted to talk about, like... I was talking to my boss, which is always awkward as hell, because he's an awkward Filipino dude, and we have nothing to talk about because we have none of the same interests, and so, like, I was just in his car, and it's awkward as hell. But I asked him about, like, how him and his wife are doing, because I just shot his wedding, and he's newly married.
You shot his wedding?
Yeah, I shot his wedding.
I see.
Yes.
So I'm guessing he was not involved in shooting his wedding.
No, he was getting married! He wasn't worrying about shooting his own wedding, I shot his wedding, which I did basically for free. I didn't realize I was doing him a favor shooting his wedding, but it turned out I was doing him a favor. But anyways, I was asking him how's it going with his wife, and it's funny because it's like he was in a long distance relationship for like 3 or 4 years with this girl, and she lived in the Philippines.
I see.
And so he's just now brought her to America, and they're living together, and they had only like met each other long distance and knew each other long distance.
I see.
And so now it's like clearly he's getting to actually know her, and he's like telling me about how, like, you know, you're with someone and then like you're married and you kind of have to like get used to each other's real personalities and kind of show you who you really are and, like, you know, drop the facade and things. And I'm just like, this he sounded so like he's really struggling with this right now. And he's like, his wife, you know, has just immigrated from the Philippines and she doesn't have a job yet. So it's just like, he works at home because he does weddings, and most of the time he's just editing, so he's always home. So they're just always home bored.
Yeah,
like,
that's dangerous.
He's like, yeah, it's, you know, I just try to keep her as busy as I can and, like, and entertained, or else it'll get bad. And I'm just like, this is the saddest thing. But I was very glad that with, like, my relationship...
Go to the Pokemon Center!
I don't want to fight. Whatever.
You could have probably won the first match with your Bellsprout, but...
But yeah, seemed interesting.
Yeah.
And I'm glad with, like, me and
I
Hope,
wonder,
it's a backwards way.
I want to know exactly to what extent the veil was pulled off. Like, how much...
It seems like it was probably pretty hardcore.
Like, how much
I feel
was
like
she,
it turns out she's boring, and that's probably the worst part.
Well, I want to know if it's, like...
Or, like, he is a boring guy, so I imagine them together is really boring.
Okay, I'm just picturing that, like, she's from the Philippines. She probably wanted a green card, she wanted to come to the U.S. to some extent. So how much was she bullshitting him to get that?
That would be awful.
Like, how much of an act did she put up over 3 years?
A nice person, but I don't know if that was an act, you know?
I mean, I don't know that it's like a total act, but were there things that she said about herself just to make the spot sweeter, you know? Like, I don't know. I've been in a long-distance relationship. Most of it was fairly honest, but there were definitely things that she said to get in my pants, you know? Like, there were ways that she would talk about herself and the things that she would do that were clearly untrue by the time that it came time. Not that they were things that necessarily I was, like, totally buying into, but, like, yeah, she would talk a big game, you know, and then not necessarily... You don't really want me to go into depth about a lot of that stuff.
I mean, when you put it like that, that's all you have to say. Like, all right, okay. Yeah. I get it.
She was the kind of person who would say that she was, like, into this and that kind of thing, and then, like obviously wasn't really, you know, just, like, was talking a big game to sound sexy kind of thing, you know.
This army's so fast.
But to me, in retrospect, I have no respect for that. Because it's like, you clearly were just saying that kind of stuff to make me want to fuck you, you know? Yeah. Like, or to make me want to, like, hang on. But then, like, she'd keep saying that stuff, even though I've already realized that it's basically not true, you know? So, like, she obviously wants to keep her, you know, keep me around. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, you're kind of full of shit, you know? Yeah. So, like, I can see through this. You don't have to keep acting that way now that I clearly know that you're not like that, you know. So, yeah, I can totally see things like that being in there. You know? Like, not necessarily that she lied, but that she totally stretched the truth of what she's about, you know.
Maybe.
Makes it seem like she's into all this interesting stuff or something, and then turns out she just sits around at the house bored, you know.
Although they're both very Christian. Like, cringingly.
Now, here's one here's one I could talk about. I could actually describe that is not, like, gross. Because my ex talked about how she loved to cook a lot.
Yeah.
She was always saying how much she liked to cook, and, like, okay, she can cook really well, and she would cook sometimes really well. But it was very apparent that she does not like cooking that much and does not cook for herself that much. Because the way she eats is that she'll cook herself. She would typically cook herself, like, one really big meal and then just eat it for days. Like, she'd eat leftovers for days on end, you know? Like, she'd make a fuck ton of spaghetti. And, I mean, she makes spaghetti really well. She'll make, like, a ton of, like, she'll mix the meat in with it and the sauce and everything and make, like, a really good spaghetti. But then she would put it in the fridge and eat it for 3 fucking days, you know? Or she'd go out, if she went out to get, like, fast food or something, she'd get herself, like... she'd go to, like, Arby's and get, like, 6 sandwiches and then just eat them over the course of days.
I see.
You know? Like, she never... Because she's lazy. So she doesn't want to have to cook every day or to go out to get food every day. She'd rather get one thing and eat it forever, you know? So she would talk all the time about how much she loves cooking and how she'd want to cook all the time. But when I stayed with her a couple times, it was really evident that she does not like cooking a lot. Because she'd be so lazy about it, right? I'd have to, like, drag her out to go get food or something, you know? Or we'd go grocery shopping and, like... You know, she'd get a few things and then want to eat it, like, for days in a row, which, like, I was fine with because it was usually good and she knows how to prepare leftovers. But I was like, you've built yourself up as a person because you want me to love you. You want me to think that I'm going to marry you one day. So you're trying to present yourself as someone who cooks all the time and is really into it. But you're not, you know? Yeah. So, like... It's not that I would say, like, oh, if I'm going to marry someone, they have to be able to cook all the time. But if you lie about it, then I'm going to lose respect for you, you know? I wrote a song about this called Lying. It's on the Been There mixtape. It's right after Surrounded by Fuckboys. Right after that is that song.
Very clean.
Yeah. Surrounded by Fuckboys is also based on true experience. It's about being in a call, and there's a lot of fuckboys in it. Jesus. And you have a moment of realization where you realize you're surrounded by fuckboys. That's the plot of Surrounded by Fuckboys. True story.
Anyways, I'm very glad, like, me and Hope were good friends for, like, 5 years before getting into a relationship. Right. Because, like, we already know...
Where the fuck's my drink? Hand me my damn drink.
You make me fucking detour to get you a fucking drink.
Sorry. I need it.
Making a valuable point.
Say what you're saying.
But yeah, we already know the best and worst of each other in, you know, that rawness where it's like there's
Right.
no initial like trying to impress each other because we were just friends
Yeah,
for a
I've-
long time. So it
I've
doesn't
said
it
that,
doesn't
like,
really matter. There's no fakeness at all to
For
it.
me, like, after the relationship I was in, first of all, I have no interest in long distance relationships anymore. And secondly, I'm only interested in two types of relationships. Either one that's just about sex, or one that doesn't become about sex until we've already been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, because I think a relationship that starts off being like, we're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend is like, you're quickly going to run into all the problems of
Kinda
finding
asking
out who
for
each
failure,
other
yeah.
are, you know?
Because if it's gonna work out, you kind of have to be best friends.
Right. Well, I don't know that you have to be best friends, but like, you do have to understand
If you're gonna
each
like
other.
marry someone,
Right.
you better be their best fucking
Well,
friend.
I mean, it's not that you can't like just start off dating and then
Yeah.
eventually get married. Like, I would not have married anyone until like my
But
rule
at the
is
point that you're getting married, you should be pretty fucking close.
my rule is 3 years. You don't
Yeah.
get married in less than 3 years. I don't care if you're the best like even if I figured out I'm going to marry you after a date, like I'm not gonna marry you for 3 years. It's just how it is, you know. Actually, my mentor and person I base my life on, Ghost Lightning, when he met his wife, he said that like on the third date,
Like,
he
it cut-
blurted out, "I want to marry you," and she just went, "We're gonna forget you said that."
Yeah.
But then he did marry her 3 years later,
Nice.
after an absurdly long dating period, which was funny because he went from like playboy, like guy who was like, you know, getting
Yeah.
some all the time, to dating a very chaste Christian girl who was not going to have sex with him like anytime soon. And so he had to like completely rein himself because he really liked her, so he wasn't gonna like fuck around with and like mess
Is that
around with her.
the daycare or
Yeah, that's the
something?
daycare.
Okay. Fuck that
So
shit.
he just had to cut himself off completely and, you know, and date his shapoopy for 3 years.
Shapoopy. Did I say on the show that? I think I did.
What?
That my pet name for Hope has become Dark Souls.
No, you.
Didn't I say that on before? What? Hope is my Dark Souls.
Oh my god, that is such a Maddox thing to do. Holy shit.
We were talking about how in my life everything I like has to be the hardest challenge. And
Oh
she is,
my
as a person,
God.
is the hardest challenge, so she's my Dark Souls.
Oh my god.
No, like, yes. Because we both hate the pet names, you know? We're not about saying, like, baby and shit, and, like, that's so fucking lame. And so I was like, oh,
Dark
perfect
Souls.
pet name, you're my Dark Souls. Ultimate ironic.
Oh my god.
To give you the sense of the type of people we are, we both determined this and we're like, yeah.
You killed me. You stop jumping over that hedge. Thank you.
We
You have to
have
go to
our
the. You have to
emojis
go to the
here.
right. God damn. Go
Did I
to the,
get
go
cut?
up.
What? I have to go down, you fucking
You
asshole.
already have cut.
Remember I go down through this thing? I just went up to heal myself first.
Oh, you're right.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
I don't have cut yet.
Yeah, you're right. You don't have cut. I remember where you get it. Jesus Christ. Dark Souls as a pet
I have
name.
a special emoji.
That is such a Maddox thing, though, right? Like, to just compare
Probably.
one awesome thing to another awesome thing. Like,
Yes.
like Dark Souls is cool, so and you're cool, so you're Dark Souls. Like,
Yes.
oh man, that's incredible.
Oh, man.
Next time on Digi Bros.
The difficulty curve.
Jesus Christ.